greetings, Andy here again, and blimey, we're really coming towards the end of my annual advent calendar countdown of favourite new releases. So here we are today, day 22, only 2 more days to go after this, and it is my number 3. And this is one which I think it was August from memory. But it's been growing each time, so as the rest of the year has gone by, it's gradually getting higher and higher on my list. And it's the Irish band Fontaines DC and their album Romance, which I'm absolutely loving. This is what I said about it when I did my monthly roundup in August. But I'm going to start with one which definitely isn't very old school. It's a very modern album, and it's the new release from Fontaines DC, and it's called Romance. Now, this is their 4th studio album. Is it 4th? Yeah, 4th studio album. The first 3 came along in pretty quick succession, sort of consecutive years, 18, 19 and 20, no, 19, 20 and 21. And this one's come along sort of 3 years later. So quite a bit of time for them to change a bit and do some other stuff. For example, the lead singer, whose name has suddenly escaped me, Grian Chatten, that's right, did some solo work. And this is really a move on. So the last album they had, called Skinty Fear, which I thought was absolutely brilliant, had begun, but only begun to sort of move their style slightly away from their post-punk, first couple of albums. But this one moves it much, much further and is quite different. There's still a little bit of, punky stuff in there. But generally speaking, it's much gentler. There's quite a few styles in here as well. There's also, you listen to it and you think it's almost a little bit goth, that bit. That one's a bit weird. Even there's a bit of Britpop there, but, nothing which you would say was, copying any particular band. They're very much their own thing. They've changed their producer. So the previous producer, whose name I've forgotten, was a real sort of out there punky type. He did Black Midi as well as them and a few that sort of, real edgy stuff. They've now gone with this one for James Ford, who's a much more established and conventional producer. So, done lots of stuff with the Arctic Monkeys and Gorillaz, and he also did Beth Gibbons' latest album. He's a really, really good producer. But not typically punk. He's moved them away a bit, but I'm not quite convinced they've actually really settled on anything here. This feels like a bit of work in progress. I like it. I really like it. Some great tracks in here, and I absolutely love. I can never get his name. Grian. That's right. Grian Chatten's voice. It's a real sort of Dublin drawl, and it works. I mean, they've completely. Moved away. DC apparently, Fontaines DC means Dublin City, the DC bit. But they've been based in London now for quite a few years, and it almost feels as though they're trying to move on to be some sort of global arena band, but haven't quite made it yet. But as I say, I really like the album. I've listened to it. It came out towards the end of August, and I've been away quite a bit, so I've listened to it 3 or 4 times and really, really like it. But it's I don't think it's as good as Skinty Fear, and it feels as though it's an interim. So I'd be interested to see where they go. The album is, how many tracks is it? 11, I think. Yeah, 11 tracks, and it's on really crystal clear. Really crystal clear vinyl. Put that away. Right beside me in the modern world, I don't feel anything in the modern world. I don't feel bad So that was my number 3, Fontes DC and Romance. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to publish both my 23rd and 24th tomorrow, because I know people are often busy on Christmas Eve. So I'll be doing my number 2 and my number 1, 2 separate videos but published on the same day. So come back tomorrow for those. Thanks for watching. Cheers.